Today's AskReddit post, without revealing your actual age, what's something you remember that if you told a younger person they wouldn't understand? Oh boy, this is gonna be a good one. Let's get started. Remembering all my friends' phone numbers by heart and hoping they're home when I called. I still remember some of those numbers. But often I had to walk to my friend's place to ask if they could hang out because my mom would talk on the phone for hours. Occasionally they weren't home, so I walked there for nothing, or agreeing to meet somewhere, and if someone is late or goes to the wrong place there is literally no way to fix the miscommunication and meet up with them. You just have to do whatever you were going to do without them or go home. My friend and I got last minute tickets to a concert. We knew some other friends of ours were going, but had no way to get a hold of them in advance. Just so happened to pull up next to them at a stoplight somewhere on the hour-long drive. I still remember how awesome and fortuitous that was, but the entire situation would have been trivial to avoid with cell phones. Asking Jeeves instead of Google. Printing out like 5 pages of directions when going on a trip, and the person who sat shotgun had to read the directions to the driver. Trying to walk as carefully as possible so the music coming from your portable CD player wouldn't skip. Let's go further, having an atlas for a road trip and using records before they were cool again. Drove around 500 miles to coach at a summer camp. Kids were from wealthy families and all had smartphones. They had a hard time understanding how I drove so far without an iPhone telling me where to go. Stayed up late the first couple nights showing them my atlas and how to plan trips with it. Hostess at restaurant asking what your smoking preference is before seating you. Being a kid in the smoking section because your parents smoked. LOL. Unless the restaurant was really well ventilated, which they never were. Everyone was in the smoking section. Or, if you were at a buffet, you had to pass through the smoking section to get to the buffet and back. Of course, I was one of the kids in the smoking section anyway. Memories. Smoking or none? We only had one computer in the house. It was in the computer room and it took very long to power on, but it was worth the wait to play pinball. Pinball was such a step up from Minesweeper or Solitaire. In 1992 I got my first office job. Everyone was ducking obsessed with Solitaire. They all liked the ducking cards bouncing when they won. Now take Minesweeper. You ever ducking sweep half the board with 2 clicks? Now that's ducking baller. You ever ducking sweep half the board with 2 clicks? Now that's ducking baller. But now the real game begins, because all the bombs are in one corner. Going to Blockbuster and running to the new release section to only find the cardboard placards. Can you check the Dropbox? No, it's not in there. It's there but it isn't rewound yet. How I have to press a key 4 times to type a S. And being amazed at how damn fast some people could punch out a message. Dude, back in the day I went through 15,000,20,000 a month texts on those little duckin' things. It was nuts. Remember when news reported teens texting was a social problem? Can you stop being on the internet? I am trying to make a phone call. That dial-up sound. NNNN do 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 BRIII BRRRR BRIII BRRRR DIIIEDHHHHHH INGI NGNHHHHHHHHHHHHHHHHHHHHHHHHHHHHHHHHHHHHHHHHHHHHHHHHHHHHHHHHHHHHHHHHHHHHHHHHHHHHHHHHHHHHHHHHHHHHHHHHHHHHHHHHHHHHHHHHHHHHHdo do 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 BRIII BRRRR BRIII BRRRR DIIIEDHHHHHHH INGI NGNHHHHHHHHHHHHHHHHHHHHHHHHHHHHHHHHHHHHHHHHHHHHHHHHHHHHHHHHHHHHHHHHHHHHHHHHHHHHHHHHHHHh This should be its own reply. If you walked up to a younger person and did this they wouldn't understand, but an older person would. I'm ducking dying OMG. MTV used to have music on it, not pregnant teenagers. Headbangers Ball FTW. Loved that show. I recorded it every day. Coming soon to own on video and DVD. I read that in the voice. LimeWire spending 4 hours downloading a Linkin Park song for it to give your computer AIDS. Weird Al really branched out during this era. There was a ton of music in the LimeWire parody catalog that was attributed to Weird Al. I specifically remember one, The Devil Went to Jamaica, about smoking weed. It kinda changed my opinion of Weird Al. Turns out of course it wasn't actually him. Paper TV guides to figure out what to watch and when. And then having to watch TV live, with commercials. And no pause button to use the restroom or get a snack. And no rewind because someone spoke too loud or asked a question and you missed what was said on TV. And don't forget having to watch the news in the morning in case you had a delay cancellation due to snow. You'll be at it for half an hour only to sneeze and miss your school where it would have been. And time to watch it again, or even worse, assume you were still open and go to school only to find out it was delayed after you left. Which was only cancelled after you left the second time. My school would make us go only to cancel after 2 hours because who could have foreseen severe weather or snow out the ass? Always trying to be the one school that didn't cancel was really annoying. Ah crap. Does anyone have a pencil? I want to put some music on but it's all unraveled. That's when I'd just use my pinky rather than take the time to find a pencil or pen if one wasn't readily available. Recording songs off the radio. Trying to cue in order to get as little of the commercials and DJ chat as possible. And then they always started talking again with like 30 seconds of the song left. Be kind. Please rewind. On this vein, separate fast rewinding units sitting beside the VCR. Yes. And the cleaning tapes you had to use when the pictures started to get a little fuzzy. Could you turn the knob to channel 4? I got a new game. Blows on cartridge. The sound of turning on those tube TVs. You ever put your hand near one after turning it off? I was kinda obsessed with feeling all that static build up and making the hair on my arm stand up. The best part of old style TVs was wiping off the static with your hand. You have a collect call from Mom, track is over, come pick me up. Do you accept the charges? And the commercial. We had a baby, it's a boy. Who was it? Bob. They had a baby. It's a boy. Give me $3 worth of stamps. Also, go get the Netflix out of the mailbox. You had to curate that DVD queue like a Methodica so you didn't end up having Oh Heavenly Dog and Sophie's Choice sitting on your coffee table for 6 months. And keep it closely monitored so the same person doesn't get the discs they put onto the list 10 times in a row like my sister did when she would rearrange THD list right before we sent back the last one. Is not a hashtag. My buddy had a bumper sticker. I your mom. It was hilarious. Which is why I did a double take the first time I saw me too. I got in trouble more than once on Reddit for typing pound me too. The Oregon Trail game. You have died of dysentery. Anyone else remember desperately trying to die during computer time in school so you could fill out a tombstone so when others play they could see it? That and fording the river were the best. And naming the members of your party after your friends and ridiculing them when they succumbed to typhoid? My high school had a smoking hall. Whoa. What year was that? The electronic charging sound of a compact flash camera before using the flash. You remember? This rising ing sound and then click and flash. You always had to wait until the flash recharged again before using it. Unfortunately, I couldn't find an example on YouTube. When I was a kid, my mom thought she was such a badass because she had a camera with a flash. You had to change the flash cube because it was a one flash and done. They looked like ice cubes. Didn't they spin around so you could use for sides? Free after 9 PM and unlimited nights and weekends. Paying for each text message after you went over the allowed texts in your contract. Texts had a certain number of characters and when you go over your recipient would get 1/2 and 2/2 on their messages. Get some tin foil to put on the rabbit ears. Not yet. Left side higher. No. Lower. That's it. Perfect. Don't move. Don't let go. I'm having flashbacks of watching Hockey Night in Canada with my grandfather. Having to run to the radio to press record when your favorite song comes on so you can listen to it whenever you wanted, and then have the DJ talk over the beginning of the song you really wanted to record. I would listen to the top 100 all day Sunday and ducking Casey Kasem or whatever his name was would wreck the #1 song every damn Timmit. Took weeks to get an untouched version of Walk Like an Egyptian for the mixtape. Shut up, Casey Kasem. I just want to hear some damn Smash Mouth. Nickelodeon movies having orange colored videotapes. The Rugrats movie with scratch and sniff stickers. Neon see-through IMAX in every school library. Did any of the optical drives ever last more than a year? The card catalog in a library. The Dewey Decimal System. We still use Dewey. Rotary dial phones. With 10 feet cords that you would twirl around yourself while standing in the kitchen. Whoa. That brought up a really old memory of talking to my best friend about renting whatever game had been featured in that month's Nintendo Power for the weekend. I'm bluey and bluey and blue. Da ba dee da ba dee a da ba dee da ba dee a. Da ba dee da ba dee a da ba dee da ba dee a. Da ba dee da ba dee a da ba dee da ba dee a. Da ba dee da ba dee a. I remembering arguing with my friend about the lyrics. I swore it was I was beat up and died. I was beat up and died. My friends either thought it was if I was green I would die or I'm in need of a guy. Simpler times. This YouTube video is great. Solid 5 stars. Not the mama. I was born in 2005 and dinosaurs was still my shit. I tease peanut butter jelly time. Albino black sheep was peak meme. Hating Jonathan Taylor Thomas because all the girls I had crushes on him. LOL, never thought of the other side of the JTT crush days. Sorry we did you dirty like that, boo. Face rolling on the floor laughing. Zip drive. I really thought they were the future. 100 millibars and totally portable. As it turned out, they were the present. I'd like a pack of Marlboro Reds for my dad. He wants me to ask if I can get a 6-pack of Budweiser as well. If not, that's okay, he'll come over later for it. One of the funniest memories I have when I think back. We lived in the middle of nowhere. Gas station was a 3-mile round trip walk. My wife told me she would pick up cigarettes from the corner store across the street from her house for her parents every week when she was a kid. She was about 8 when they started sending her. I was 4. Pack of Marlboros for $1 please. I never could figure out why the grocer had such a sour look on his face. This is the floppy disk I keep my word perfect document on, and then print out on paper with feeder holes and perforated edges, and making springs with the edges of the dot matrix paper. I used to love the smell of dot matrix printer paper. Remember how it was all just one roll and you had to tear off each sheet along the perforated line? Hated that noise the printer made though, lol. This is my first lyrics video, lol. Give me 5 stars and subscribe PLZ. How United America was right after 9/11. I still talk about this today. It should never take a tragedy to unite people. I hate how divided we are right now. I understand the reasons why and most are valid. I just want to see us united again. It seemed like COVID might be the thing to do just that. But, of course, people had to make it into a political conspiracy theory. Wear a damn mask. There's a pile of bikes on your friend's lawn, and your mom got mad because your bike was thrown to the ground instead of using the kickstand. I got in trouble for that a lot. Garbage pail kids. I needed to make a call, but I couldn't because the neighbor was using their phone. I got a new computer magazine and typed a new program into the computer, but I couldn't save it because I didn't have any cassette tapes. The program didn't work anyway, but they printed a correction in the next issue. So I typed it all in again, but they printed a correction in the next issue. So I typed it all in again. A month later, lol. MSN chat. ICQ was better, and it still exists. Where's the nearest payphone? And always having the emergency quarter. Shit, I'm old enough to remember dimes. Calling a phone number to check the time. Calling a phone number to listen to the movie theater's schedule. Ever watch Boomerang for 8 hours lying on the floor at your grandma's house? Number. I watched the stuff that was on Boomerang when it was new instead. This is your brain. This is your brain on drugs. My fave was I learned it from watching you. Cutting up magazines to make a cover for the mixtape. Bro, you actually watched the whole video. I'd give you a high five if I was a human. Make sure to click the like button and subscribe for more great content. See you next time.